How is it that the greats, I'm talking about the Drakes, the Michael Jacksons, the Steven Spielbergs, the Michael Jordans of the world, right? The greats in whatever industry, how was it that they started off as regular people, but then over years and years and years, they became the greats in their industry, started dominating whatever it is that they touched? Here's the reason why. So we're talking about change. What is it, and why is it so hard to stick those disciplines? We have certain disciplines that we've been trying to stick. Check this out. I want you to write this down. We have anywhere from 60 to 70,000 thoughts per day. And did you know that 90% of the thoughts that you think on a daily basis are the same as the day before? So what does that mean then? Think about that. So if you're thinking 60 to 70,000 thoughts per day and 90% of them are from yesterday, what does that mean about tomorrow? That means that tomorrow is going to start to look a lot like today was. So we have to first get that thinking that most of us are trying to change our life. And what does that look like? We're trying to make more money. We're trying to save more money. We're trying to get in the gym. We're trying to go to bed early. We're trying to wake up early. We're trying to implement all these different disciplines and make our life better. But yet, 2 weeks in, a week in, it's like we revert back to our old self. And then we start to beat ourselves up saying, maybe it's not for me. No, it is for you. You just have to get a little bit of understanding. So if you believe, which I think most of you here believe this, if you believe that your thoughts control your future, then what does that say about your future if 90% of what you thought of today was the same as yesterday? You know, by the time you're the age 35, most of the programming that you have will be stuck there for a long time. Let's go. If we go out right now on the street and we talk to an average of 100 people that are above the age of 35, their life will be exactly the same this time next year, but yet they're going to be complaining about the money, the government, this and that, their job, their boss, their business, their social media, their followers, and everything else. But yet it's their hard wiring that has been changing everything. Emotions. What are emotions? Emotions are a record of the past. Write this down. Emotions are a record of the past, because if you've felt something before, that means it was something that was in the past. Like, for example, if you've never, let's just say theoretically, you've never tasted a pineapple, how am I supposed to explain to you what a pineapple tastes like if you've never tasted one before? You see, that's the same with your emotions. Your emotions are something that you've tasted before from an experience. And those emotions start to get hardwired into the different energy centers in your body. And if somebody is not actively creating a new future emotions, by default, they're gonna go back to their future programming. Or their past programming. If you don't start to implement new emotions into your life, by default, you're gonna fall back to past thinking and past emotions. If you're going to change, if you're going to start implementing a new thinking pattern, one of the things that, we just had the new year right now, and most people are trying to set in a new year resolution, right? They're trying to get in the gym. They're trying to wake up early. And what starts to happen is their old self and their new self starts to fight each other. It's like consciously they're saying, all right, I know I got to get in the gym. I know I got to wake up early. But then when it gets to that point, it's time to go to the gym. It's time to wake up early, and that alarm goes off. It's like there's like another part of them that's fighting them to stay where they're at. Here's one thing I learned about change, especially when it came to meditation. In order to change, you have to be greater than the body. You have to be greater than the body and greater than the subconscious mind. Now you might be asking me, well, what does that sound like? Well, let's just say, for example, let's just say theoretically, one of the habits you're trying to implement to go out there and grow your business and stay more productive. Drop a 1 in the chat right now if you want to be more productive. You want to be more productive throughout your day. You want to get more stuff done so you can make more money, have more happiness, and have more purpose. Drop a 1 in the chat. So one of the things that you're going to try to do is implement new habits. Now, what actually are habits? Habits are actually learned emotions that are programmed into your subconscious mind or your body. So take this into note. I might say the body or I might say the subconscious mind. Those two words are interchangeable because your body literally is an instrument of your subconscious mind. So whatever's on your subconscious mind is expressed through your body. So if I say body or subconscious mind, they're both the same. And when somebody has been living the same routine, look at this. When somebody has been living the same routine for years, the body takes over the program. better than their conscious mind, and that person loses their free will. They begin to lose their free will. Let me tell you this, if you've been at your job for more than 2 years, or your life has been pretty similar over the last 2 to 3 years, there's a major chance that your subconscious mind or your body has taken over. And it's a good thing and a bad thing, just depending on how you programmed it. Nothing is good, nothing is bad. It just is. So why does this happen? You see, your body starts to take over habits. That way you don't have to put so much energy onto thinking. Imagine if you had to relearn how to drive every day. Imagine if you had to relearn English every day. If you had to relearn how to put your shoes on and tie your shoe and put clothes on. Imagine if you had to relearn those things every single day. We wouldn't be able to progress as a society, or you wouldn't be able to progress in your life. So what happens is those thoughts that become habitual or muscle memory start to imprint into your subconscious mind. That way your conscious mind doesn't have to rethink or relearn how to drive, how to dress, how to tie your shoe, how to drive to work, how to do your job, or whatever it is that you're going after. But then you start to learn habits that are not to your benefit. You start to overeat. You start to sleep in. We start to go out. We start to do stuff that doesn't go towards our benefit. And then here we are. We go into business and we're trying to change our life. We're trying to take massive action. Our leaders on Zoom calls are saying, do more work, read more books, go to more seminars, join more Zoom calls, prospect more, do more sales calls, do all this stuff outside of us. And yet we do it, or we try to do it, but then we default back to our old selves, and then we start to beat ourselves up. Drop a 3 in the chat if you know what I'm talking about here. I know that was me for a while. And what starts to happen is you lose your free will to a program. What's something that makes you different from every other living creature on this earth? A bird can only be a bird, a tree can only be a tree, but you have choice, you have free will. But many of us have lost our free will to our program, our bodily routines. And if you don't understand the two parts of your mind, you're going to sit in this cycle like a hamster wheel. Year after year, you're not making the money that you want to make. You're not having the relationships you want to have. Your body's not where it wants to be. You're in this cycle and you feel like, what is going on with my life? I understand what to do. I'm reading the books. I'm going to the seminars. I know consciously what to do, but yet my body does something differently. And whatever, we have to understand this, whatever actions or whatever way our body is moving, that's the results we're going to get in our life. Write this down. It's not what you know, it's what you do. It's how your body acts that starts to produce the results in your life. Results being the money or whatever it is that you want. No amount of information, reading, or understanding of just basic information will change your life until you change your subconscious mind or your paradigm or your programming. How is it, you might start to ask, how is it that the greats, I'm talking about the Drakes, the Michael Jacksons, the Steven Spielbergs, the Michael Jordans of the world, right? The greats in whatever industry. How was it that they started off as regular people, but then over years and years and years, they became the greats in their industry, started dominating whatever it is that they touched? Here's the reason why. The greats of the world changed because they had seen a vivid idea of the future that they actually started to think and act and feel as if it was already real in the present moment. So we learned one thing. We have to be bigger than our environment. You want to change, you got to be bigger than your environment. That's number one. Number two, you got to be bigger than time. You're going to be greater than time. You got to be greater than time. They might be asking me, DeAndre, what does that mean? Greater than time. What is emotions again? They're memories of the past. Emotions are memory of the past. So if we were to look at the past, then we would say that the past is known because you know how to do it. What did you do yesterday? Maybe you learned a new route to work. Maybe you learned a new word in Spanish. I don't know, but you know it already. If you were to look at the past, it's known already. That's pretty simple to understand. But check this out. The future, for most of us, is predictable. If I said, all right, DeAndre, with an 80%, chance of you being correct, what would your day look like tomorrow? And most of you would know what your day looks like tomorrow. You would know around what time you wake up. You would know about what you would eat for breakfast for the most part. You would know what route you'd drive to work. You would know what time you would get into work, what time you get off. You probably know about how many sales calls you have tomorrow. You probably know about how much money you're going to earn tomorrow. You know all of that stuff tomorrow. See, the future becomes predictable. Why? the future becomes predictable because the thoughts that you're thinking of today will control your future. Your past is known, and now your future becomes predictable. Tomorrow will be predictable because of the thoughts you're thinking of today. So that's why for most of us, we're going out and we're trying to change our life, make more money, instill new habits. And yeah, it's like, damn, you start to beat yourself up after 2 months and it's not working out for you. There's only one place that there's two things that you need to do. You have to get over your future, and you have to get over the conditioning of the past. You have to get over the conditioning of the past, and you have to get over the programming of the future. Your future is programmed because you're programmed. And let me tell you this, your programming is probably not the way you like it. Your programming didn't even come from you. It came from your outside world. It came from your friends, family, society. You know, there was something, I'm doing my own inner work here, guys, and I'm not perfect. And one of the things that I was doing a meditation today, and I realized that there was a lot of energy stuck in my first center. And I was like, what is that? Our first center being our sexual energy, right? And I was wondering, like, what is this? I had some energy stuck in my first center. I'm like, what is this? And I asked, during my meditation, I went in and I asked myself, what would that be? And then a word came up. You know what that word was? Lust. Lust. There was lust, which is, by the way, one of the lowest vibrations out there. Lust was in my first center. And I was like, okay, like I've heard the word lust, but I didn't really know what it was. And I went to go do some research. I started watching some videos and I got the understanding of what lust was. And I was like, holy shit, that is what I've been dealing with. And I'm getting personal with you guys, but that's the truth. Society has said that it's normal to lust, that it's okay to watch certain things online. If you guys know what I'm talking about, that pornography is okay, that, lusting over a woman or lusting after, casual sex is okay. And with that comes the consequences. You see, that's an example of programming, and programming that's not to our benefit. That's one example of a programming that has been instilled in us, and that's one from society. That's just one. How many do you have within you from your parents, your family, your teachers, everybody that came out there? Guess what? The reason you earn the money you earn is because of the way you've been programmed from the people that were around you. And then you get into business, especially network marketing, and it starts to expose you. Business will expose your paradigm so fast that you don't know what to do and you're going to want to quit. And if you haven't quit yet, you're feeling the pressure right now. Business will expose your programming, and business is an opportunity and a vehicle that pays you exactly what you're worth. If you're not happy with your income, get better. We get paid in the value we add to the marketplace. So you might be valuable, you are valuable in the eyes of God. But let me tell you, when it comes to the marketplace, if you broke, you're not that valuable. And people vote with their money. Well, how do you become more valuable? You got to start to program yourself to be valuable. Start to work on yourself, but not just in the conscious mind, in your programming, in your subconscious mind. Start to rewrite your habits. Don't learn more. Rewrite the habits that produce the results. You get paid not for what you know, but for what you do, the results that you produce for people.